Hello and welcome to TNA Top 10, episode 124. It is November 9th, 2025, and I forced it this time, fellas. I'm T Weave. With me, as always, are Andrew and Allison Faye. What is up?
Forced it this time.
Well, I had to force it because, that music ain't pumping nobody up.
Well, here's the thing. I didn't even hear the music. It said your browser is unable to play this video.
Man.
I was like, oh, great. We're going to have technical difficulties, which, by the way, 3 years into this venture is well established. It's never my fault. Technical difficulties.
Of course not. Why would it be?
Never mind. Always Terry's or Allison.
Maybe the dog.
Never mind.
Dog.
We did have a dog chew a power cord up one
We did.
time. That's legit.
right.
Yeah. We finished the show on my phone.
That was
because we are committed and dedicated, or maybe I should just be committed. Either way, I don't know.
I'll tell you one thing. If we ever drop out when it's live, everybody just says, fuck this, and they're gone.
Yeah.
And then it's like, we got one person watching. The old music was better. Well, the old music also was going to require me to look up the license that I had and convince YouTube that I'm not stealing music. So,
yeah, because YouTube, Mike Over, thought we were stealing music of all things from ourselves. The way I read the cease and desist letter. So
no, they just flagged everything. So it's just one of those things. It's like, screw it. I don't want to deal with it. So let's use something generic until I do something better, which means 6 months from now, maybe I'll have a new intro.
We're busy people. And by we, I mean Terry. So, and
Terry fights enough. Terry fights enough with ChatGPT in 1 week, all right?
Oh, God.
Hey, he did make an awesome rendering of me as the Great Bambino, though. That's legit. It's legit.
It was good. I mean, that was the only one it would let me do because my original intent was to have us as old baseball players. And basically it does what it does a lot of times. And it did one of them and then said, oh, I can't do this. And I'm like, you son of a bitch, you just did it.
You're such a jerk.
Sitting on a throne of lies once again is ChatGPT.
But I've tried other models. I mean, I tried because I've got Perplexity, which allows me to use different models. And supposedly other models are better at images, but I like the cartoony ChatGPT images that we use. I don't want it to be too real,
Yeah.
Yep, I agree.
No, I think it's fun. And it wasn't just that one. We've had some good ones. Mr. Heisenberg here. Walt. That's Walt White, not Walt Whitman. WW. That's a deep cut for those of you who've actually watched the series. Terry may not have. Terry's pretty good rendering here of old Walt, the man who lived long enough to go from being the hero to the villain, and we'll discuss that in our main event of the show. But
and villain is another word, and I've got thoughts on the TV list compared to the other lists we've done, and some differences that I noticed that maybe not everybody noticed.
Well, there we go.
Alrighty then.
So, Allison, I saw you had a Cane's Cup. I want to talk. I want to talk about chicken tenders just because this is our show and we do what we want. Terry, she did not get them in Las Vegas. Again, another.
I did not.
Cup, those of you that saw,
she could have done it right across from the mini Statue of Liberty. I know this for a fact.
Why do you know this is a fact?
Because we were in a cab or Uber or something, and I'm looking over. There's like a roller coaster and a Statue of Liberty to the left, and Andrew goes, "Hey, there's Raising Cane."
Literally the best.
I certainly did that. And Terry, the casino is New York, New York. Hence the Statue of Liberty.
Well, yeah,
and the yellow decker cab, or checker cab, not a double decker. But anyway, the Cane's was in Vegas, and Terry refused to stop so we could go eat Cane's in Las Vegas. So anyway, I had chicken tenders for dinner last night from a place called Smithfield's Chicken and Barbecue.
Ooh.
And Dave, I make this shit up as we go, but yes, we got a cease and desist letter from YouTube because Terry's music is cool and they hate us. Anyway, the Smithfield's Chicken and Barbecue, apparently whatever chicken they're using is on steroids because these chicken tenders are supersized and they give you 3 of them with the whole gimmick of we'll fit as many fries into this closing plate thing as we possibly can. But their fries are always mid. The chicken tenders, though, they're on point. They're on point.
Yeah, fries are a forgotten art when it comes to some fast food restaurants. It's like everything's great, but their fries are horrible.
Well, like you can eat McDonald's fries at any temperature. Obviously, the best temperature is right out of the fryer and into the bag or onto the tray, and you're eating them.
They do turn to styrofoam after a while.
Nah, don't worry about that, Terry.
Fine.
We've all got to die of something. Don't worry about that.
I say this knowing that I went to Arby's and got something that they called steak bites today. My standards are pretty low.
Terry, we warned you about steak bites. When a fast food chain has hijacked a motto from the gay community in Chicago, we got the meats. You should have known better that they're not going to have what you want. They also pretended they made gyros, and that's terrible. They have chicken and steak, but the steak is roast beef. So there you go. Their menu used to be roast beef sandwiches, and now you can get anything you want at Arby's. In fact, I think we should do an Arby's menu top 10 poll. Top 10 things that are on the Arby's menu, because it has got to be the Cheesecake Factory of freaking menus as far as fast food is concerned.
We also have to do Taco Bell if we do that.
Yes.
Well, I'm not going to say anything is good.
Too bad.
Taco Bell. Yeah, y'all dine with me.
I didn't hate the steak bites, but I don't think they're steak. To me, it was like a chunk of roast, which is funny because when I go and eat roast beef at Arby's, I don't think of like a beef roast like I would, but the consistency of these nuggets was exactly that.
So that's probably what it is. It's probably what they slice for the sandwiches, and they just
maybe. I don't know.
I would like to point out for all of our listeners who may not have heard these stories, 2 things. One, Terry Weaver ordered a $50 cocktail in Las Vegas.
That's nothing.
And the end of a Wagyu cap at Steak 48 in Charlotte, North Carolina. And after being
I got range, man. I got range.
After being warned not to do it by yours truly, goes and spends $18 on wannabe steak bites at freaking Arby's. It's like we don't know each other. What are you doing?
I also ordered a few years ago.
There you go.
Funny because I was driving home from Nashville last night after the game, and we'll get to that later. And I'm sitting there talking to the boys about wanting to go get the steak bites. And I said, I'm an engineer. I have to prove it to myself, to the point that I actually ordered a taco from Burger King a few years ago. And Houston goes, I know, I was with you.
I love the judgmental tone in his voice that I just heard, because I would say the same thing. Are you shitting me? We have taco trucks for that. What is wrong with people? Don't do what you're not supposed to do in fast food. But Arby's, genuinely, if you look at their menu, it is the Cheesecake Factory of fast food, with the exception Heather brought one up, Cookout, is also like the Cheesecake Factory.
You can get corn dogs on the side at Cookout. That's
I've never been to Cookout.
I will not tolerate anybody shit talking the corn dogs from Cookout, because they are delicious. And you talk about
he's got all these standards, and when it comes to Cookout, he's like, let me throw them out of the way.
Now, it seems like Terry is not alone. It looks like Super Dave has also tried.
I knew Dave Miller was my boy on this stuff.
Oh my God. Top 5 mistake you've made. I would never order.
It's bad.
Of all,
You could not scrape the meat off the shell. I mean, it was horrible.
You couldn't get me to drive into a Burger King. I mean, they've made so many terrible changes. Their Whopper, because it was flame broiled, used to actually be good, but now it's just trash. And then, to Dave's point, he says he would go to Cookout more often. It's in a bad neighborhood, apparently. The Burger King is in the hood here in Goldsboro. I ain't going. I'm just letting y'all know. Particularly after dark and in the Lexus when people get carjacked. No, thank you. So anyway, I wouldn't go anyhow. But then you're telling me that they actually offered tacos and I'm supposed to take this burger place seriously. I don't think so. No. Mm-mm. Mm-mm.
Mm-mm. Okay. Let's talk about what we're going to discuss today.
This is me judging you.
Today, if you're watching, I'm wearing the Kannapolis Cannonballers hat. I decided I'm going to start buying minor league baseball hats. And what did I do to figure out which ones to buy? I went to our top 10 list of minor league baseball mascots. So Kannapolis Cannonballers is basically the Pringles guy, just got shot out of a cannon. And this reverse thing, I don't know which finger to go up and down. I'm definitely not a weatherman. But anyway. So I love this guy, Pringles guy, mustache, helmet, flying through the air. I love it. That's hat number 1. You will be seeing more.
I had to change hats, but we'll mention that later during the Nebraska coverage.
So baseball's over. There is a little bit of baseball talk. The Braves hired Walt Weiss as their new manager.
Not Walter White.
We'll see. We'll see what happens. For those that don't know who Walt Weiss is, in the 80s, he was the shortstop for the Oakland A's when Canseco and McGuire were there. He played for the Braves and the Rockies in his career. He's been an assistant coach in Atlanta, and now he's going to be the manager.
Don Mattingly, Yankees great, first baseman, never won a World Series. Bench coach for the Toronto Blue Jays, will not be back next season. And so I think he should just go back to New York. But he says he's got time to decide what he wants to do. But Mattingly will not be back as the bench coach for the Blue Jays. Obviously, when you look at the way the Blue Jays hit the ball well and ran the bases and played position, that's a lot of the Don Mattingly effect in that spot. I would love for that to be back in the Bronx. So we'll see. Also, Allison's favorite baseball team is in the news today for gambling. $12,000 bets that have ruined a $25 million career. Old Clase and is it Hernandez or what's his name? Clase and the other pitcher.
Hold on.
The one we make fun of with the long hair. Ortiz. Yeah, Clase and Ortiz have been indicted on federal charges for their indicted for pitch rigging. Mm-hmm. So this goes back to bets that were discovered early in the season where there was going to be, ball 3, ball 4, and we're going to pay out this amount if he walks batter number 5 or whatever the circumstances were. And they were throwing egregiously into the ground, 8 feet off the plate, all this sort of stuff. And they've been investigated, and now they've been indicted. Now, remember, folks, an indictment is not a conviction. It just means there's enough evidence to go to trial.
Right.
But they are looking at, I saw it earlier, George sent it to us too, like 60 years in prison potentially.
Oof.
Because
That's
of the
deal.
Because they're basically calling it like not racketeering, so to speak, but the organized gambling ring where they are, making people the beneficiary of them throwing these pitches in these games. So yeah, it's insanity that they would actually do that. Also, these are 2 huge players for Cleveland, and as we all know, Cleveland sucks, and it couldn't happen to a nicer group of baseball players. Anyway,
that is correct.
That's the news for baseball that I'm aware of, other than Aaron Judge setting the standard, wins another Silver Slugger. And Max Fried, Terry, as I think I told you last week, won the Golden Glove. Again.
Yes.
But he's a Brave, so I wanted to let you know he won the Golden Glove.
Well, Somebody pointed out in a video I watched at one point that when Freddie Freeman goes into the Hall of Fame, he'll be wearing a Dodgers hat, and that kind of broke my heart. But
Oh,
Ooh.
yeah, so
okay.
Yeah, because he's
Sorry.
got 2 World Series with the Dodgers and only 1 with the Braves.
yeah,
But he's responsible for them winning, responsible for 2, and definitely influential on the 3rd one.
and who knows what happens next year? As long as they keep Will Smith, right? You got to have a streak of Will.
gotta
Smith.
have a Will
We're up to
Smith,
like
yeah.
7 now or something.
We
6.
learned that. Yeah, we learned that it has to be Will Smith, and the same Will Smith has won 3 championships. So there that
That's
is.
exceptional. Exceptional.
Yeah,
So we're also going to talk about NCAA football and TV villains today, and we'll talk a little bit about wrestling, but we didn't have any pay-per-views or PLEs or whatever we call them. So not a lot. We'll preview what we know about a couple of events coming up.
I forgot, Terry, because you love when I do this. One more thing on the baseball. I've got ticket confirmation that Allison and I, April the 3rd, will be at Yankee Stadium, 1:35 start, to watch the Marlins get shelled in game 1 of 160. Well, it's not game 1. It's like game
it's like
8 of 162. It is the opening game at Yankee Stadium.
Okay.
And we will be there to watch it happen.
All right.
in
Confirmed.
matching T-shirts.
Excuse me?
I said in matching T-shirts, but we're only going to wear those.
I thought you said in Massachusetts. I said we paid
No.
for tickets. I'm even making her sit with people in center field. We're gonna sit with people, and we're gonna do the roll call, and we're gonna do Monument Park. Oh, we're gonna do it all. I am going to embarrass the hell out of her on April the 5th, and there will be April the 3rd. April the 5th, we leave for Costa Rica. There will be video evidence of her being embarrassed by me, especially when we do the YMCA, because I'm going to do the Trump dance just so she can vomit in her mouth.
I'm so excited. I can't wait.
Okay, let's move and let's talk about the wrestling we know.
Yeah.
We got a couple of events coming up. First, Saturday, November 22nd, we have Full Gear. And Saturday, November 29th, we have Survivor Series. And I took some notes and I forgot to open the notes.
Nope.
Yes. And before you get to Full Gear, this week you have Blood and Guts, 2 matches, men and women, on the Dynamite.
Okay.
On the Dynamite.
Is that a weekly show? I don't watch weekly shows.
Yeah, I don't either. I watch it on Twitter.
I do. I watch them usually twice because I've usually fallen asleep.
Okay. What notes did I take? So Full Gear, November 22nd, Prudential Center in Newark, New Jersey. New Jersey's getting a lot of action this year. Golly.
Well, it's also that's the I don't know how many times they've run it, but they've been
3.
for Blood and Guts at that event multiple times. Yeah.
Yeah, 3rd time.
I said Blood and Guts, Full Gear. Sorry. Go ahead, Terry.
Right. FTR won a 4-way tag match. Huge shocker.
With
they're going to be the challengers.
Terrible shatter machine. That was like the Bucks did it better than they did earlier in the match. They should do us all a favor and go away. Go away.
So they won the 4-way tag match. They will be the challengers to the AEW Tag Team Champions, currently Brodito. So we know that. We got a Hangman versus Samoa Joe. We got Statlander versus Mercedes Moné. We might have Takeshita versus Okada. Mark Briscoe versus Kyle Fletcher. And the AEW national title, I believe, is going to be decided with a Casino Gauntlet match.
Can I ask a question about the national title?
Sure. I know nothing about it other than it exists.
But okay.
I do.
Is it a men's title?
Yes. Okay. And it always has been.
Okay, that's what I wanted to know.
National title came out of Georgia in the 1980s is when it became popularized, when Jim Crockett bought Georgia out, and it was really their United States title. National champions include Ole Anderson, Dusty Rhodes, Tully Blanchard. So, and a lot of other names previous in Georgia, but the national title was part of Georgia Championship Wrestling. And when Jim Crockett Promotions buys out Georgia, They bring the titles in the mid 80s, and the national title kind of just goes away. The last time it was seen on TV was 1986.
Wow.
Did they have national tag team champions also?
Yes, and that was Arn and Ole.
That's what I was thinking.
The last ones were Arn and Ole. And then they just kind of dropped those titles off television.
Okay.
But yeah, 1986 was the last time you saw those Georgia belts for either the tag or the singles national title. But yeah, Tony Khan all of a sudden 40 years later thinks that he's going to bring back the national title on Dynamite because, let's face it, we don't have enough titles in wrestling that don't mean anything. See the international and whatever the other title is that Okada and Omega, or not Okada, Takeshita are going to fight over.
Whatever they call the
Continental and the yeah, it's silly. It's very silly.
Is it still called that? I don't even know. Whatever.
Yeah, it's the Continental title.
I got some suggestions for them. They could do a daytime title, a nighttime title, Tuesday champ,
a world title, a universe title.
Once again, because this is our favorite thing to do, is correct Mike Bober. Bober's the worst. Allison can confirm. There will be 3 matches on Dynamite, sir. Okay, so this is the Blood and Guts lineup. Jamie Hayter, Willow Nightingale, Harley Cameron, Chris Statlander, and Timeless Tony. Oh, no. And Mina Shirakawa, sorry. Versus Julia Hart, Sky Blue, Thekla, Megan Bayne, Marina Shafir, and Mercedes Monet. It's not bad enough it's 5-on-5. It is 6-on-6 in AEW because we got to have more war games. Then the men's match, because this is the main event anywhere in the world. Darby Allin, Roderick Strong, and the Conglomeration, which is like the best name for a useless faction ever. Mark Briscoe, Orange Cassidy, and Kyle O'Reilly will be taking on the Death Riders. That's Moxley, Claudio, Wheeler, Daniel Garcia, and Pac. And then, because it doesn't matter, Hangman Adam Page will be wrestling Powerhouse Hobbs in a Fall Count Anywhere match. There will be 3 matches. The show is anticipated to go 2.5 hours, and it will be in Greensboro, North Carolina, home of the NWA.
Okay.
All right. Well, we've also got matches with several people in it on the other side.
Terry, don't
Survivor. You said War Games. How am I supposed to not bring it up?
Yeah.
Don't start that nonsense about we're talking about the good wrestling now. You can criticize the multi-man wrestling.
It's still multi-man matches. It's Survivor Series, War Games.
Survivor Series is supposed to be.
But it still is. Oh, it is not home of the original War Games. Don't say that, Bober.
Greensboro is. Greensboro.
Oh, okay. I didn't know what he meant by okay.
Fun
I
fact,
thought he meant WWE.
Yeah. Fun fact, the rematch was in Miami, and that's where they stuck Ray Traylor under a mask because they broke JJ's shoulder. But
where
anyway,
did Arn get stuck between the rings?
He did that a couple times, but that was 92 with Dustin Rhodes, and I think he even did it. He did not do it in 91. He was not in the 91 War Games. He was hurt. But he did it in 92 with Sting Squadron versus the Dangerous Alliance.
Does War Games have the steel cage around both rings?
And so does Blood and Guts. Yeah, so it's the same match. They're doing it in the same month, and it's Cody's version. I mean, War Games is owned by the Rhodes family. They own the trademark to War Games and can lease it out. That's why they had to call it Blood and Guts, because it was leased out to the WWE, and WWE had War Games and in NXT. And that's why Steven Regal or William Regal would always come out and say War Games, you know? So Full Gear has the same concept, or not Full Gear. AEW has the same concept. They just call it Blood and Guts.
Okay. So I put some rumors down about who may be in these War Games. Punk, Roman on the face side, Logan Paul on the heel side since Rollins got hurt. don't see any solid commitments there to who's in it.
I need some. We need some conversation here. Just a second, Terry. She rolled her eyes when you said Logan Paul, who is the greatest heel in the business today, much better than MJF. And I will not hear you with your facial expressions, ma'am, talking dirty about old Logan Paul.
I just, for somebody who's supposed to be an entertainer, he does not entertain me.
I think he's fantastic.
I think he tries too hard.
He is a natural.
He moves well. Okay. Not gonna say he doesn't. He's crap on the mic though.
That's why he's with Paul Heyman. I have a point to this.
So okay. Other than that,
if I may, anyone that has ever been in my stables has gotten better.
Yeah.
And it's true. Paul Heyman makes everybody better. Even Ryback was better when he was managed by Paul Heyman. And Curtis Axel, Mr. Perfect Son, better when he was managed by Paul Heyman. So the Logan Paul thing, though, I want to ask you this. Terry, you may not have seen it. So Logan Paul comes out at the beginning of the show. It looks like the Bronze are going to beat the crap out of Punk. He runs them off, blah, blah, blah. Acts like he's going to be a good guy, which you all should be able to see through. But anyway, they get to the showdown in the main event, and he comes out for the save, and it's him and Punk stand off against the Bronze again, and he puts the brass knucks on. And then he turned and he cold cocked CM Punk. Allison, real question.
Yes.
Did you see that coming when he clocked him in the main event?
No.
I didn't either.
Nope.
Now, we're all smart wrestling fans that should know Logan Paul is not going to be a babyface. And he clocked the hell out of CM Punk. And it was good. That part was very well done. Bober apparently disagrees. They messed up the whole angle Monday night. I don't know what that means. He said he knew it was. Of course you did, Bober. Anyway,
the worst for a reason.
The worst. We had to remind him to send in his top 10 list, and there will be more on that from Terry.
No. Don't make me look bad here. I look bad enough. So, Bober actually answered like within 10 minutes or so, it seemed like. And so quickly that I didn't realize he had even provided feedback. So then when I post it to social media, he's like, what the hell? You didn't incorporate this. Like, okay, sorry about that.
I hate the way responses come in the email sometimes because you don't necessarily realize that's what's happened.
Well, anyway, part of the problem is that I've got 2 Gmail accounts. I've got my personal Gmail account, which I use for me, and then I've got the show Gmail account. Well, I sent it from the show, but I didn't necessarily go over to the show Gmail account. And they do this grouping of conversations now. It throws the whole thing off. But yeah, sorry about that, Bober. I put him in there, and I gave
it's okay.
Yeah, Bober's still the worst. But anyway,
he's still not worthy of getting in the top 10. But that's another story.
A whole nother story. We'll get there too, because there were so many good TV villains. But yeah, Logan Paul, great wrestling villain.
Yeah,
go ahead.
Okay.
But some of the rumored names on the women's side: Rhea, Io Sky, Bayley, Lyra, Asuka, Kairi Sane, Raquel, Roxanne. Those are the names I've seen. And by I've seen, I asked ChatGPT, what are the rumors?
I have a just an observation. You're doing the same match in 2 different companies. That's it. You're doing the same match.
Yeah.
The one company will go much farther than the other. Because as you all probably remember, Bronson Reed broke both of his ankles last year, jumping off the cage in the Bloodline War Games match. But there is no filter in AEW. They one time threatened to light a man on fire inside of a War Games to get a submission. So,
hey, I saw Cody on fire. I was on the second row for that.
That's right.
Yes, sir. But you didn't see a flamethrower get stuck into a double cage match. So
fair.
I'm waiting for them to do so. I mean, and here's the thing, and you guys know I fuss about this every week we talk about AEW. You got Moxley versus Darby, and they're the captains of the teams. What are they going to do to each other that they haven't already done in a coffin match and an I Quit match? And by the way, that I Quit match finish was garbage because, like, Mox tapped out, like, right away. That's just trash. But now, traditional war games, not WWE war games, traditional war games, which the AEW crowd plays by in their blood and guts match, submit or surrender. How are you going to get to do this without the flamethrower or on Moxley's end without a pistol? That's what I want to know. That's what I want to know. We'll find out Wednesday. And I'll make fun of it in 2 weeks because we're not going to be here next Sunday. Well, but anyway.
10 days, right? We're doing the Wednesday.
Whatever.
Yeah.
We got to figure it out.
We got to figure that out because things change for me too.
Okay.
We are now celebrating Thanksgiving on Wednesday.
Well, anyway, we'll discuss it, but I think this is the Wednesday before that. But
oh, okay, you're right. It is. That's fine.
Let's start talking football and get through this before we spend 30 minutes talking about Wednesday.
I'll go check my phone.
Damn. All right, week 11 college football. Let's talk about what happened. Here's some games. Wake Forest beats Virginia on the road. Cal beats Louisville. I'm grouping these games by conference this week. So when we get to the other games, it'll be a little different also. Syracuse gets whipped by Miami this weekend in Miami. Ohio State does what they do, 34-10 over Purdue. Notre Dame's got their annual whipping of Navy, 49-10.
It was close for 15 minutes, and then after that,
I was going to say, for how long was the score like that?
And the one game that stands out here, so Georgia beats Mississippi State 41-21, but Kentucky changed quarterbacks and all of a sudden got good. They whipped Florida 38-7 this weekend.
Yep. 38-7.
Florida did Syracuse.
And Kentucky doesn't score points. That's not their thing. It's never been their thing. Well, it has. The guy's name was Mike Leach. He was the offensive coordinator, and they scored more points than anybody in the SEC. But that was 30 years ago, Terry?
A long time, yes.
And the pirate is dead, but long live the pirate on this show because we love him. Okay, so real quick, Georgia let Mississippi State score that third touchdown, but that game was not close. The Bulldogs look like the Bulldogs. However, they looked like the Bulldogs against Mississippi State, who have just been that up and down team that can't close. They blew a double-digit lead against Texas. They blew another double-digit lead against, and I forgot who the other team is now that I've just started to say that. And it wasn't good. Miami blows out Syracuse. Well, Syracuse ain't got a quarterback. Ohio State blows out Purdue. Well, it's Ohio State. And I don't know if you all saw this week. Ryan Day says they're asking him questions. They say, you've got all these wide receivers that are going to go to the NFL, but this team just doesn't have that explosive nature that Ohio State teams have had in the past. This was his answer. We haven't had to be explosive this season.
Oh, wow.
Wow. Well,
so he's holding back for the playoffs. Okay, because he's not wrong. Ohio State has not been challenged by anybody but Texas. And in the first game of the season, Terry, you and I both know this, Allison. You've learned this along the way talking football with us. Nobody has a good first game of the season. No. Nobody.
Speaking of the first game of the season not being good, we got Florida State who beat Alabama the first game of the season. And they get beat by 2 touchdowns this weekend by Clemson. Florida State at Clemson used to be a sexy ACC game. But this year, not so much. And this is what's holding the ACC back at the moment because these are the teams that are supposed to be challenging Miami.
Prior to this season, one of Dabo Swinney's only losses at Clemson was at the hands of Florida State, Jameis Winston, and the national championship defense in 2013. And if I'm not mistaken, Florida State beat them either 52 or 62-3 in Death Valley. That was a country ass whooping. This, to your point, Terry, these two teams are just playing for a bowl game if they can get to 500. And Mike Norvell is probably coaching for his career at Florida State. Unlike the Luke Fickell, which we're probably not going to talk about Wisconsin here in your games.
Nope.
Luke Fickell, prior to this week's game, was extended or saved by the AD at Wisconsin, and they said we're going to give him more resources to be more successful. And then Wisconsin beats Washington and ends their losing streak in the Big Ten. Amazing how that happened.
A little bit of support, a little bit of confidence goes a long way.
Yeah. So Wisconsin won this week over Washington, which nobody predicted. I mean, that's not a game you would call. But yeah, this here, I didn't think Florida State had enough in the gas tank to beat Clemson because Clemson still has a better football team, but they're not playing like a football team, and their coach isn't coaching a football team.
Right. I mean, it's 6 sacks. Clemson had 6 sacks on Castellanos.
Yeah. Tom Allen's defense finally getting it done. And you know how high I was on Tom Allen coming out of Penn State, the former Indiana head coach. This guy's going to install some defense at Clemson. And to your other point, and I didn't mean to interrupt you, Klubnik actually played like the number 1 quarterback in the ACC this week.
Right. And he was supposed to be there was all this talk about Arch Manning, but guys that had experience and were coming back, Klubnik was supposed to be the guy.
Yeah. Yeah. So, but I think the dumpster fire in Florida State continues. The only thing they have to decide is when they're going to fire Mike Norvell. But we'll get to the fired coaches. I know you've got that down the line here.
I didn't hear any today, so it's not updated. But if I didn't hear one, then sorry I didn't update it. But let's change to a different conference, and we'll go ahead and talk about this game. Going to the SEC, Auburn at Vanderbilt. I was in the stands with my sons. Auburn decided to play a little bit of offense this weekend, but forgot to play defense this weekend. And I've got quarterback stats listed here because the quarterbacks were the stars of the show. Daniels for Auburn, 31 of 44, 353 and 2 touchdowns. Ran for 89 and 2 more touchdowns. But Pavia, 377 through the air for 3 touchdowns and ran for another 112 and a touchdown. Both these guys were running all over the place and finding guys open. 45-38 Vanderbilt in overtime. It was exciting. I mean, the 35,000 people that were in that stadium were loud for 35,000 people.
Yeah, because obviously you've been to Jordan Hare and other stadiums, Terry, that are going to have a lot more people.
90,000 or so, that are loud. But this was for 35,000. It got pretty loud.
Well, and I go back to the SEC championship game Allison and I went to. There were 78,000 in attendance there at Mercedes. It wasn't super, super loud for either team. Like, you could still hear, I mean, people were cheering and stuff, but it was not that deafening white noise, you know, take over a game sort of volume.
Definitely.
And maybe it was because of that particular venue. But I want to ask you a question, because I told you that I believed, and Auburn did not come to play defense this week. That's pretty clear. Although Diego has a way to do that to teams. He forces them to play offense against him. But how was the line play between the two? Because Auburn's defensive line, regardless of who the head coach is very, very good. And I think Vanderbilt has the best offensive line in the SEC.
Yeah, so I think the line was actually the best part of the defense. The linebackers were kind of inconsistent, played pretty well, but the defensive backs, I mean, one touchdown in particular, one guy just wasn't covered at all. Big, long touchdown pass. But at the same time, Vanderbilt has some athletes. Eli Stower's name was thrown around over and over again. 12 catches, 122 yards on Auburn. Auburn did pretty good stopping the run. Once in a while, Diego would bust through on third down or something like that. But I think the biggest factor was Diego Pavia. He just gets it done. Another factor may be, if we're looking for what reasons Auburn went from hasn't given up more than 24 to giving up 45. How do you do that? Well, your defensive coordinator is now the head coach. So I don't know if that affected the defensive practice, the scheme, or anything like that. It's possible. I'm looking at this as, okay, so we lost the football game. Unless we win the next two, we're not going to a bowl game. That's fine. We just fired our coach. I mean,
Yeah.
to me, when you fire your coach, you write off that season. I mean, a bowl game would be great, but we're looking at changing to a new chapter. So that's not that big a deal to me.
How good a job is Auburn?
It's got the potential to be really good because they can win a national championship. They are in the SEC, but you have to deal with some bullshit.
Because I ask, because I know of Chizik, Malzahn, whatever the guy's last, Harsin, and
Freeze. They do not hire big name established head coaches.
And that was two national championships, by the way, not to mention the playoff appearances or the playoff polls and all that stuff, but two national championships and one victory.
Yeah. So, right. But I don't know that they've ever hired. I mean, Tuberville may have been the biggest accomplished coach that got hired, and he was at Ole Miss and had not really done spectacular there. So, Auburn doesn't hire. They're not hiring guys like James Franklin, big names like that. The names that are getting tossed around are Kenny Dillingham, which I don't think is going to happen just because he's at his alma mater and they can make the playoffs there. There's no reason for him to leave to go to Auburn unless it's just money thrown at him, and I don't think he'll take it. But what you're going to end up with is either, to me, my opinion, either DJ Durkin, who is the current defensive coordinator and interim head coach, will get the team, or Tulane's coach, John Sumrall, who is from Huntsville, coached at Troy, coaching at Tulane. He might be the other guy. And I'm fine with either one of those because, like I said, Auburn doesn't hire big names. They flirted with Kiffin. They flirted with Kirby Smart in the past. They just don't finalize those deals. So I don't expect a huge name. No John Gruden's coming to Auburn, even though he said what he said a while back, oh, I'd love to coach at Auburn. Who cares? Unless you sign your name on a piece of paper, that doesn't mean anything.
Yeah, and Vandy won't go away. And make no mistake about it, with the resume Vanderbilt has, they have an outside shot of making the 12-team playoff and an opportunity to beat Tennessee in a couple weeks to add to that resume.
So here's some interesting first-time evers from this game. This is the first game in Auburn football history that two receivers had 10 catches for 100 yards. First time ever. 563 yards of offense out of nowhere. This is also the first time that Vanderbilt has given up 38 points and won the football game.
So I get it. I get it's Vandy, but Vandy's had a pretty decent, they've played decent enough defense. Not saying there's some intimidating defense like Nick Saban's Alabama's used to be, or, Kirby Smart led. But let me ask you this question, because Hugh Freeze is supposedly some sort of offensive genius, and it took his ass to be fired before you actually saw Auburn play offense.
Well, I can tell you
the head coach right now is your defensive coordinator.
Right. So a couple of things, and I've been thinking about that. So I think Gus kind of fits in this too. Their offensive minds, the game has evolved since their minds were the sharpest on the offensive side. And it has changed, and they have not changed with it. And I don't think either one of them is going to be highly successful over a period of time. And you're seeing that with Florida State when Gus, they're not successful like we thought they were going to be after they beat Alabama, right? And I think Hugh just doesn't have it in his system anymore. But I mean, he's got cancer still, you know? I mean, that to me, I was always confused about how that doesn't affect him. But
Right.
I will say this, the man that deserves credit is Derek Nix. This guy worked under Lane Kiffin at Ole Miss for a while. Kiffin really pushed hard when Auburn hired Derek Nix because he had something in his contract about he can't take another SEC job or something unless he calls the plays. So that was a big deal, and Kiffin was really pushing back on that. Hopefully, Kiffin is proud of him that he took the team out there and put up so many yards against Vanderbilt. But he probably is not going to throw anything out there publicly unless it's a backhanded compliment toward Auburn because, you know, he does that kind of thing.
Yeah, Lane, big game Lane likes to screw with people.
Especially Auburn.
All right.
Oh, yeah. Anything he can do.
But to me, I mean, so here's something interesting based on the way that red shirts work. So Auburn is off next week, and then they finish against Mercer and Alabama. Both Deuce Knight and Ashton Daniels still can be redshirted. Ashton Daniels can play one more game and still redshirt. We have Mercer coming up. There's a lot of talk. Do they sit the starting quarterback against Mercer so that he can come back next year?
Yeah, I would.
So that's going to be an interesting thing. And if you do that, do you start Jackson Arnold or do you start Deuce Knight? Because Deuce Knight has gone in, as far as I know, for one drive all season.
So it'd be Jackson
he can
Arnold.
Fill red shirt too. So I don't know. It's very interesting thing to put on.
It's
DJ
obviously
Durkin.
Arnold, unless you get a different coach in there, Terry. And I didn't mean to interrupt you. Arnold's tenure at Auburn is done.
Oh,
he's I don't know what his eligibility is in terms of what class he is, but Auburn has said he's done. You've just gone to the other guy. You know, we saw this last night, and you may have the game. I'm sure you do. I'll wait on the LSU Alabama game, but we saw that. We saw that halfway through the game.
But I also wonder, you know, I know that Jackson Arnold holds on to the ball, doesn't find guys open, but how better could he have been as a starting quarterback without Hugh Freeze in the way? But, you know, just some thoughts moving forward. But let's go to that LSU Alabama game that you were talking about. LSU had 232 total yards and 10 penalties for 74 yards. And you're not beating Alabama with any of that being true.
They kept shooting themselves in the foot. They were in Tuscaloosa. It was loud. They committed stupid penalties. You got to stop and then you hit a late block or unsportsmanlike. You jump off sides. You know, it's terrible. False start. Alabama, honestly, should have won this game by 4 or 5 touchdowns. But the defensive line of LSU was all over Simpson. I mean, they were all over him. There were no rushing lanes. 56 rushing yards for Alabama. Running back university for the last 25 years.
Yeah.
56 rushing yards for Alabama.
So LSU played pretty well on defense, I would say.
But they took some serious shots last night. This was a physical, violent game. Physical, violent game. And it's what you'd expect in the SEC. And to the point where on Twitter, they were replaying the quote game of the century, Terry. The 6-9 LSU or Alabama lost to LSU, or was it 6-3? Whatever it was. It was stupid. And then Alabama wins 21-0 in the national championship game in the rematch. And LSU crossed the 50 one time in that game. So revenge was sweet for Saban that year. But anyway, Alabama, once again, beat a very gamey LSU. But here's the thing. LSU played as good a football as they have all year long without Brian Kelly. And the interim head coach benched Nussmeier for the backup quarterback in the middle of the game last night.
You know what's funny to me about Brian Kelly? Most head coaches, just about everyone you hear about being fired, the players support the guy. They hate that he got fired. They feel responsible for the firing. They talk about how great of a guy he is. You ain't hearing that about Brian Kelly. You're hearing former players coming out just shit talking him about being a complete asshole.
Yeah. And I don't know that he'll find another coaching job, honestly. I really don't. I don't know that you'll find another coaching job. He had a chance at Cincinnati, Notre Dame, and now LSU. Yes, that's right, Dave. Go to hell, spelled in the Cajun. But here's the thing: LSU's done the same thing Auburn has done. Terry, 2 national championships, 2 national championship coaches gone.
Yeah.
And impatiently have fired their successors. You fired Coach O. Now you fired Brian Kelly.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm not saying Brian Kelly was the right guy at LSU, but they haven't had the right guy at LSU since Les Miles was there. Les Miles, the Mad Hatter version of Les Miles, was the right guy at LSU. Nick Saban, when LSU was a dumpster fire and hadn't played in a national championship game for 30 years, was the right guy at the right time. And then when he went to Miami and they bring in the Mad Hatter from Oklahoma State, it worked until Les Miles got stale. And there was no Mad Hatter. He just was resting on the fact that he had a defense. They couldn't develop quarterback play at LSU. So what do? We hire a defensive lineman or line coach and Coach O, and we bring in some of the best offensive players the country has to offer, and we win a national championship. Oh, and 2 years later, we fire his ass and bring in Brian Kelly.
And I kind of wonder, you talked about it a minute ago. It's like before Saban got there, it was pretty bad at LSU. They had hired a guy that had been at Vanderbilt, I guess, and he was LSU's coach, and they weren't doing all that great. And Saban comes in and changes things. Then they bring in Les Miles, so he kind of extends it out. But there's a lot of competition in the SEC and nationally now. If you were making any progress as a team, firing somebody, that's a big hit. You better hope you get somebody good, or you may just slip off and go into mediocrity in your conference.
It's that time of the week since you mentioned it. Twice in my almost 40 years on this planet, Nebraska has fired a 10-win coach, and they are still paying for those decisions. Good luck, Penn State. Good luck. Because
Exactly.
10-win coaches ain't that easy to find.
Yeah, Penn State and LSU to me are the two that were decent teams that fired coaches, and I'm anxious to see who they get because it might be they could trade coaches, and who knows? That would be interesting to see Brian Kelly at Penn State.
Yeah, damn
anyway.
shame to watch Ohio State run all over him.
But LSU did pretty well holding Alabama back on the rushing game. But Ty Simpson pretty much won this football game. And, penalties. And I didn't mention it, but Auburn had nearly 100 yards of penalties against Vanderbilt also. They're going to kill you.
Yep.
Let's move on to the next one. We got Texas A&M against Missouri. A&M 38-17. They are still undefeated. Marcel Reed 20 of 29 for 221 and 2 touchdowns, and A&M ran for 243 yards against Missouri.
Okay.
Missouri played A&M close for the first half, and then they just got bullied in that second half, and it was not good. A&M is a physical, well-coached team. Well-coached because you made adjustments to things that weren't working in the first half, and look what happened. 21-point win in Columbia against a top 20 team. Elko gets it done again. He's got $1 billion football team or whatever the donors in the oil fields want to pay. Because let's face it, Terry, at College Station, there is no amount of money that they won't pay to win a national championship.
That's right.
And that is a fact. These guys were paying Johnny Manziel before it was legal. So in College Station. But
and I've called them the Mets of the SEC, but they may be proving me wrong this year.
9-0, headed to an SEC championship if things work out their way. But they've still got Texas, and I forget who else on the docket. But they have they got to play Texas, and I don't know if it's at home or away, but it doesn't matter. Anyway, yeah, great game. And I've been a supporter of what Mike Elko has done. He did so much with so little at Duke, and he's got every resource in the world that he could want at Texas A&M. And he may make them a powerhouse to be, around for a very long time.
And that's what you kind of want, is a guy that won a lot with not as much, and then you move him somewhere where he can really increase the resources. And who knows what the top of this could be.
Yeah. And who the hell says that they don't pay him big money if he does really well in the postseason to keep him at A&M,
right?
So he doesn't go to one of these other jobs.
Because I've heard his name for Penn State.
Yeah, because it fits his mentality and his brain.
It does.
So anyway, what's up next, Terry?
What's up next. Now we head to the Big Ten, the first game in the Big Ten, Nebraska at UCLA in that giant stadium with a trickle of fans. 28-21, Nebraska comes away with a win.
If they'd given us all the tickets, Nebraska would have sold it out. I mean, seriously. The team travels well. They'd have filled the Rose Bowl. 28-21. It could have been 35-21, but Nebraska, after the 2-minute warning, UCLA had no timeouts. They go to the victory formation on UCLA's 30 to 35 yard line. The dogs are barking. Hold on a second. They're going to get loud. But they go on the 30 to 35 yard line. We get 3 kneel downs and we call it a ball game. But, Nebraska played without Dylan Raiola their most complete football game of the season. Offense, defense. Now, Nico gashed him. Nico gashed him in terms of what he was able to do with his legs. But that is because Nico Amaliva, or however you say his name, they said it 87 times last night, and I can't get it right anyway, is a very talented quarterback playing for a not talented team. So there's the Nebraska fans. Everybody on the Twitter's a genius now. And we're talking about, well, we should have obviously played TJ earlier and got rid of Raiola. You're paying Raiola $3 million a year to play football. TJ Lateef is the backup quarterback, the true freshman, but this is what he did well. Run pass option. Ball was out of his hand quick. He ran the ball. That's why this hat says run the damn ball. And Emmett Johnson did that. 232 total yards, passing, running. And the passing game, Lateef went 13 for 15, but Terry, let's not get this confused. There were only a couple of deep balls. His passing game is bubble screens and slants,
right,
getting his guys out in space. And the next thing you know, they're picking up an additional 15 or 20 yards. It's an extension of the running game. Exactly. Yeah. But he does it really, really well. And
he's not throwing a pick six like some quarterbacks just assume that screen's there and they throw a pick six. He's not doing that stuff.
He's not doing that. And here's the thing that ultimately matters. He, as a quarterback, fits Nebraska's offense better than what Raiola has. Because Raiola will hold the ball and go through all of his progressions, and then he'll try to scramble, and then he'll try to extend the play, and he doesn't have the legs to do it. If Lateef makes it to option 2 or 3, and he doesn't see it, he's tucking the ball and he's gone. And I saw him do it multiple times last night. Nebraska run the ball 38 times. They only called 15, or 39 times. They only called 15 passing plays. There weren't that many drives last night. These guys, both teams, held the ball. And in spirit, Allison, of our show tonight, old Jerry Newsheimer,
Neuheisel.
Jerry Newsheisel, who looks like Joffrey from Game of Thrones, he called a hell of a game. And, he really did. But Nico was the one-man band. And here's the thing about Nico. and why we have to be careful with, talking about, Nebraska's defense gave him 200 yards. They had his ass dead to rights, and he put a move on him. Like, they had him in the backfield multiple times, and he escaped and escaped and escaped. So good for him. But Latif, the real deal. Now, here's the thing. In no way, shape, or form do I think TJ Latif just took Dylan Raiola's starting job. Let's not be silly. They got a week off this week. Then it's Penn State. Then it's Iowa. Then it's the bowl game. And spring ball, Dylan Raiola will be the number 1 quarterback for the University of Nebraska, regardless of how these next 4 games go or 3 games go for Nebraska.
So is UCLA basically Nico's pretty good, and he's on a team that doesn't really have anybody surrounding him. Is that
he's they had a couple of he had a couple of good passes and stuff. Like I said, he was 191. He rushed for 86 yards. The 86 yards was him extending plays.
Yeah.
Like, there were a couple designed calls for him, but most of that was, oh shit, Nebraska's coming and I got to get out of here, okay. And he did.
Imagine if he had Tennessee's team surrounding him.
And he left Tennessee. And obviously there was some political reasons for that, or some personalities or whatever. But there had to be, because ain't nobody going to UCLA to play for the
on purpose
3 games into the season. But Nebraska is now 7-3, no game. Then they go to State College, Happy Valley, Penn State. And I don't know that we're going to get all of Penn State, because they thought they had a victory yesterday and it got taken from them. But yeah, Nebraska's in good hands with Latif. He did exactly what I told everybody they were going to do. They're going to run the ball. You got the best running back in the league and maybe the country on your team. And, they took how many sacks yesterday, Terry? Guess. Just guess.
0.
And guess how many negative plays Nebraska had yesterday?
0? 0 negative? Ooh,
0 negative plays, 0 sacks, and 2 penalties, and no turnovers.
That's
how you win football games.
It is. It's consistent. It is. Disciplined. It's moving the ball forward, even if it's not for 20 yards.
Yeah.
Just keep moving forward.
Just keep moving forward. They had 0 negative plays in the 54 that were called.
That's good.
And their special teams was outstanding again. So, anyway, it's not next week, Bober. 2 weeks.
2 weeks.
You can be a Nebraska fan in 2 weeks, because we're coming to Happy Valley to get 8-3 before we go play those idiots out wandering around. But anyway, speaking of the idiots out wandering around, Iowa, because we playing them at home.
I didn't know what that was in, but
wow.
I mean, get one of them in this. Yeah. So Oregon beat Iowa 18-16, and if you look at the box score, it's like, how the hell was this a 2-point game?
Wow.
Yeah, Oregon was a much better football team, but they kept getting stopped. They just kept getting
apparently.
Stopped. Yeah, and Iowa doesn't score. I mean, that's been the joke on this show since we started doing this, Terry.
Right.
Always, even the boys that over there on Mark Out Moments, Dave and Tim and all the rest, so take the under with Iowa. Always take the under, because they're never going to score.
Yeah.
Wow. And then Oregon inside 2 minutes gets it down and gets the field goal, because it was 15-16, and Oregon stole it from Iowa in Iowa City.
So Iowa had 238 total yards, and Oregon rushed for 260. And it still ends up being a 2-point game. Stevens, the kicker for Iowa, with a 58-yard field goal. That's huge.
Yeah, big kick outside. By the way, it's not a dome out there in Iowa City. You're in an outdoor field, so all the elements available there. Anyway. It is what it is.
All right, let's move on to the other game. And I didn't know if this one was before the Iowa game or if it was the other way around. But Indiana, like you said, survived at Penn State 27-24. Mendoza with a last-second touchdown pass to win this one.
Yeah, and I just don't think Penn State has any more gas in the tank. I don't think they're going to care. You talked about it earlier. They fired the coach. They'll be lucky to be bowl eligible. They're moving on to next season. And the good news for them was the number 2 team in the country came into State College. Happy Valley, you want to play? Let's play. And they tested Indiana and proved that they still can play football at Penn State. But like Oregon, the good team in Indiana had 1:48 seconds left, and they marched the ball down the field and they scored a touchdown. I watched the entire thing happen, waiting on a car deal at the office. And
I was probably sitting in a parking deck trying to leave Nashville at the moment because it took me forever.
Yeah, they just I am telling you right now, that was, I mean, Penn State just gave them all they wanted. The defensive line of Indiana did not look as good as it had.
8 for 15 on third down for Penn State.
And Indiana ran into a team that's got some physicality to it. Guess who else has that sort of edge?
Ohio State, definitely.
The Buckeyes. And right now it's Indiana, Ohio State, Indianapolis for the Big Ten championship right now. Wow. But my point to say that was a good team, Oregon, took it back from Iowa with less than 2 minutes left. A good team and away. A good team, Indiana, took it back from Penn State with less than 2 minutes away. So, these teams are legitimate. When we start talking about the top 4, top 5, it's pretty clear who those guys are. Now, 7 through 15, because I ranked 15 teams, Terry, or 6 through 15, good luck. Because you could make an argument for 6 through 15 to flip places in any way, that you want. But 1 through 4 to 5 is pretty solid in the top 10. Indiana, survived, but you have to have those games.
So Devin's asking, is Mendoza better than O'Rourke was last year?
I think Indiana is better than Indiana was last year. Defensively, they got better. I think Cignetti never lacked confidence, but winning makes it, better. Seeing what the program has done, we're now in Bloomington, they're selling that stadium out, and you couldn't give tickets away 5 years ago,
Indiana's making a commitment to football. This is a historic basketball institution, and they are throwing money at the football program.
I mean, they just signed a $91 million contract for Curt Cignetti.
Yeah.
That you don't, and just to emphasize your point, commitment, $91 million to make sure this coach doesn't go anywhere else. Big deal.
It is. All right, let's go to the Big 12, and this is where game day was this weekend. BYU gets clobbered by Texas Tech in Lubbock. 3 turnovers for BYU, held to 67 rushing yards, and Texas Tech's kicker 5 for 5, so that helps them out there.
If BYU's defense was any less, this game would have been way, way, way out of control. BYU made me a liar. I said they were a very disciplined football team, which up to this point they had been. They didn't make a lot of mistakes. Up to this point, they hadn't. But Lubbock got the best of them. Texas Tech with a nice bounce back, and now you've got 2 8-1 football teams, Terry. And Texas Tech, of course, has the tiebreaker. Of course, they'll be in Pittsburgh.
There's a lot of teams that have off weeks, Bober. I guess they had to go somewhere, right?
Yeah, exactly. Very true. Very true.
Just joking. They're doing awesome.
You're not. You said the quiet part out loud. Just accept it. It's what I do.
They're doing great. They're doing a hell of a lot better than my team's doing. I'll give them.
Texas Tech spent $55 million on a football team, and that football team came together and absolutely shut down BYU, and did it physically. I mean, this BYU team beat Utah, a very, very, very good football team. And so,
BYU's first loss.
I'm going to be honest with you, Terry. This is the game that surprised me. I thought this was a field goal or touchdown game.
Right.
And Texas Tech, it was even 29-7 seemed, it was all right. No, BYU scored the 7 in the fourth quarter. This was never close. Never. So, anyway.
Who does Pitt play? I think I've got it listed. Devin's asking who Pitt plays.
I have it saved. I just sent it to y'all.
Notre Dame. Okay, that's
Notre
right.
Dame.
That's what I was thinking. I didn't want to say it and be wrong, but yeah, Notre Dame at Pitt this weekend. That is the right place for them to be, Bober. I'm just messing with you. You know that.
No, it's not. Georgia and Texas are playing.
Well, that's true.
And then we got Clemson and Louisville. Michigan and Northwestern's a much better matchup. Let's talk about NC State versus the Hurricanes.
Oh, my goodness.
Oklahoma, Alabama. Come on now. Why is everybody laughing? I'm dead serious. Minnesota versus Oregon. Main event football game anywhere in the world, particularly in Eugene. Oh.
All right. So Amy finally made it just in time to find out that BYU is no longer on the list of undefeated teams. 3 teams stand, 2 of them in the Big Ten, 1 of them in the SEC, Ohio State, Indiana, and Texas A&M. That's your top 3 teams.
Yeah, and it's really Ohio State and Indiana and A&M are interchangeable. Although in the AP poll today, Terry, both Indiana and A&M got first place votes. Ohio State is nowhere. I mean, they're not unanimous. I believe Indiana got 6 first place votes and A&M got 3 or 4. So yeah, we mentioned FTR and I said they sucked and it was the worst chatter machine ever. Nobody mentioned the University of Cincinnati until now. Allison, do your thing. Who played for the University of Cincinnati?
I would like to point out to Amy that a very yummy Jason Kelsey and his brother went to Cincinnati.
You know, and that other guy. You know,
I need you to say "and his brother" with a little more disdain the next time.
As she says, the best Kelsey, who is Jason, and the other Kelsey, who is his brother, the one who's marrying Taylor Swift.
Mr. Taylor Swift. Get it right.
Mr. Taylor Swift. Correct.
Mr. Taylor Swift.
Travis Swift.
Yes, Travis Swift. So, yeah, this is a great, these are the great 3 or the 3. Are we going to talk about the poll first before
Let's
we
go ahead and talk about the poll? Here's the poll. Nothing is a real surprise here. Number 10, Oklahoma at 7-2. Number 9, Notre Dame at 7-2. Number 8, Texas Tech at 9-1. Number 7, Ole Miss at 9-1. Number 6, Oregon at 8-1. Number 5, Georgia at 8-1. Number 4, Alabama at 8-1. Texas A&M at number 3 at 9-0. Indiana, the first team to 10 wins. They're 10-0 at number 2. And the number 1 team still, the 9-0 Ohio State Buckeyes of the Ohio State University.
The Ohio State Buckeyes. And I think, as I said to you and Allison in a text and even before the show, 1 through 4 is pretty easy. I mean, that's pretty acceptable. You could maybe put Georgia in there and call it 1 through 5. But
yeah,
good luck.
Georgia's kind of tough. I don't know what their top end is, but they're very good at adjustments.
Yeah. And good luck picking 6 through 12.
Yeah.
Yes, exactly.
Because all of them have warts. Oregon, obviously lost to Indiana by 2 touchdowns in Eugene, and they haven't been thumping people. That Iowa game obviously has some vulnerabilities. And if you had a better offense, they might have lost that game. Ole Miss, of course, loses to Georgia, blows a 10-point lead in the fourth quarter. Texas Tech loses. Notre Dame's lost twice to both Miami and Texas Tech or Texas A&M, and Oklahoma has lost twice. So I think we do see a very heavy SEC playoff this year, though. I don't think there's any way around it. And all you got to do is look at this poll. That is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 of the 10.
Wow.
Yep.
But as Devin, he's trying to make a case for Miami. Why are you making that case? Georgia Tech has 1 loss. But the ACC is starting to eat itself. Louisville lost this weekend, as did Virginia. So now both of those teams have 2 losses. Miami should be number 10. I don't know. I don't agree with that. I don't think so. I don't think Miami is nearly as good as they are. And when Carson Beck decides to show up, he's going to throw 4 interceptions and cost his team the game and hopefully be out of college football this year. So there you go.
Yeah, but they are in that mix. I mean, somebody's saying, I guess Bober said Texas. Devin said Miami. I'm sure they're probably 11 to 13 or so. Amy asked about Vandy. They're probably a little bit lower, I'd say. I don't remember where they landed in our vote, but I think that's where they are, like in the AP and the playoff polls.
Beck is better than Haynes King. Wow.
Whew.
I don't think so.
Haynes King is good.
I do not think so, sir. Carson Beck is a liability, and even Jake from State Farm won't offer that bitch insurance. So,
but what if he actually wakes up, though? You know, gets the sleepy eyes out of the way.
Oh yeah, that's true. I mean, the dude looks like he wakes and bakes. Maybe that's why he and Devin get along.
Anyway. Let's talk about who fired their coach.
Oh, nobody I love this slide.
Nobody knew.
No.
Auburn. Auburn was the last one I heard about. Maybe somebody else did, but I have not heard any response to yesterday's games. I think it's pretty late in the season. If it's this late in the season, they're probably waiting until the end. Here's next week's games, and I got it listed here, Bober. I got Clemson at Louisville. Louisville with an unexpected loss this week. Notre Dame at Pittsburgh, Oklahoma at Alabama, Texas at Georgia, Minnesota at Oregon, Iowa at USC, Utah at Baylor, and West Virginia at Arizona State. And both of our teams are off this Saturday.
Yeah, so Clemson at Louisville. I think that Louisville's a better football team. I think Cal caught them. And I think Louisville's a better coached football team at this point because sometimes you have to look at yourself and say, I'm the problem. And I think Dabo Swinney is the problem with Clemson, or a very big part of the problem.
I think we are approaching with Dabo the people that say he's got a lifetime contract versus the people that say that should not exist.
Yeah. Yeah. And
we've seen that before, you know, Penn State. We saw it with Paterno. Because I mean, at some point he would leave the booth before the game was over and go downstairs and go to the locker room and not even finish the game out, you know. Yep. And I caught some words from a fellow employee that went to Penn State over that one time because I pointed it out on Facebook, but it's the truth. I mean, yeah. I know you love the guy that's been there for a long time and has won, but just because they won 15 years ago doesn't mean they're winning today.
Yep.
Clearly. It was 20, you know. Notre Dame at Pitt is probably the game. The game. You got a very talented defense in Notre Dame and a very young freshman quarterback. Oh my goodness. So anyway,
just keep going.
I just caught the comment over there.
Goodness, Bober. Okay.
But anyway,
I think Texas at Georgia should be good. Really depends on how much Arch Manning has improved.
That Georgia defense, though, Terry, when properly motivated and prepared, is the best in the country because of who is the operator of that defense. So I'm giving, as much as I like Sarkisian, and I picked Texas to win the national title, at Georgia, between the hedges against that defense and the offensive line not gelling, they're going to come after Arch and they're going to get him off his spot, and then they're going to hurt him. And I'm not saying they're going to hurt him. I'm like physically. I'm saying they're going to hurt the game plan. And if you end up being a one-dimensional team that has to drop back and throw because you're down a couple scores, that is not going to be good for him because then the defensive ends of Georgia are just going to tee off. But yeah, I got Louisville beating Clemson close. I'm taking Pittsburgh with the upset because Notre Dame has not been able to beat quality football teams this year.
Interesting.
So I'm taking Pittsburgh, led by the freshman quarterback, by a score. And I've got Georgia 2 touchdowns over Texas. I know that sounds like a lot, Terry, but this is between the hedges, and this is Georgia football.
Let's see. Louisville over Clemson. That's correct. Notre Dame at Pittsburgh. You're right. That's going to be a close one. I'm going to go Notre Dame just to go the other direction for you and Bober there. I don't think Oklahoma has the team. I don't think they're the number 10 team in the country like our poll says. I think Alabama wins this 10 points. Georgia over Texas. I think Texas will hit them early. I think that's how Georgia games go, but it may be 2 scores, like you said. Oregon has no trouble with Minnesota. Iowa at USC is interesting to me. Maybe not interesting, but I don't know exactly who I pick here. Probably USC. Of course I do, Bober. Bober thinks I suck because I picked against his team. Utah over Baylor. Arizona State should win against West Virginia with no trouble.
Okay, so my turn. Alabama by 10. I agree with that. It's in Tuscaloosa. Oklahoma's got a great defense, but their offense is very suspect with Mateer right now. And it's in Tuscaloosa. Mm-hmm. Name 5 harder places to win than Tuscaloosa, Alabama. Right. You know, and then don't do that. But I mean, it's subjective, but that it's one of the most difficult places to win a football game, day or night. We agree on Georgia. Oregon, this is Eugene. Minnesota is, the team that beat Nebraska 24-6, but Nebraska never got off the bus. They're not going to sack Oregon's quarterback 9 times like they did Nebraska. And this is in Eugene. I don't know what the spread is, but if the Ducks don't win by 3 touchdowns or more, I don't know what to tell them because they ain't got the offense in Minnesota to keep up with Oregon. USC and Iowa is interesting to your point because one plays defense and the other has one of the best offenses in the country. Right. I'm going with USC because Iowa can't score enough. They just won't be able to keep up in the Coliseum. Utah over Baylor because I'm going to pick Utah. And West Virginia, 2 in a row. They're going to make it 3 because Arizona State's quarterback is Jeff Sims, formerly of the Nebraska Cornhuskers, and affectionately named the turnover machine by me. So West Virginia gets the upset at Arizona State, even though with the other quarterback, I picked Arizona State to win the Pac-12 or Big 12. But, I'm going West Virginia with the upset. Rich Rod takes number 3 this season.
Maybe you're right. Maybe it's going to be because Kenny Dillingham will be in heavy negotiations with LSU contract.
Auburn. I'm going to Louisiana State University, sir. Oh no, Jeff Sims is black. Phil Sims is not. So anyway, Bober, what a silly thing to ask.
What was Phil Sims' kid's name? He went to Texas. I can't remember. Played for the Giants. He didn't play for the Giants. Played for the Buccaneers, I think. I can't remember his first name. Anyway.
Couldn't have been that good.
Phil's annoying. But anyway, yeah, so I'm going with West Virginia because country roads take me home to a place that I know, Terry. And that's West Virginia.
Speaking of that.
Rich Rod.
So a little bit of an aside. We were on the way home. This reminds me of that. We were on our way home last night, and my son Houston is in the car next to me, and Cyrus is in the back. And Houston is looking up things. I don't know what brought it up, but we were talking about people with places in their name, and they're not from there. So like John Denver's one of those guys. He is not from Denver. Hell, he's not even from West Virginia. He's from damn New Mexico.
Just Robert, California.
Today I learned that John Denver is from New Mexico. And what about Robert California? He was the best boss on The Office.
I know, but he wasn't from California.
Do you know what's wrong with The Office? Michael Scott. That's what's wrong with The Office.
Okay, let's move on because
Wow.
I'm gonna be a villain soon if he keeps
I
talking.
hate Steve Carell. I mean,
Oh my
like
God.
legit.
Man, that is a take.
Yeah, it ain't
Okay.
a good one either.
So we may hear a lot of bad takes, and I'm going to tell you, I've not watched all these shows, but we're doing the top 10 TV villains, part of our villain series this week. And I'm not going to know how to pronounce these, and I did not
Can't
look
wait.
up pronunciations. So
So
that's
good.
going to be part of the fun.
The Alabama is going to come out, ladies and gentlemen. Here we are. And Terry, for those of you watching, is one Walter White Heisenberg.
It took forever to get this because the first attempts, I was like, that ain't me at all. It almost looked like Brian Kelly as Heisenberg when I first
Well, it
started.
was Bryan Cranston, and you do have similar features in that you both
do.
have beards, you're bald. But, you know.
Well, okay, full disclosure. I started down this path by saying, ChatGPT, tell me a TV villain that is bald. And it gave me a list, and this is where I ended up.
All right. All right.
Yeah, but I love the fact that you are Heisenberg.
So, fun fact, this is the one show that I cannot get through. I have tried 3 times, cannot get through Breaking Bad. Just can't do
The
it.
first 3 or 4 episodes are a little rough, but it really picks up the pace.
Oh, I can't. I just, yeah.
I'll go ahead and offer up. My tag is, it's elementary, Moriarty.
Moriarty.
And if you have not watched, oh God, what's it called?
Elementary?
No, the other one, the British one with.
Oh, Sherlock.
Sherlock. If you've not watched Sherlock,
Oh yeah.
Why I couldn't think of that, I don't know. If you've not watched Sherlock, it's worth a watch. It's excellent.
With Benedict Cumberbatch.
That's right.
And my tag is in a Game of Thrones. You win or you die.
And mine is I choose violence.
Well, apparently I chose violence talking about Michael Scott, but we'll see if Queen Mother makes an appearance on this list, which I'm sure she will.
Let's see who just missed the list and what's shocking. The governor.
Oh, no way.
From Walking Dead. Ben Linus from Lost?
Ben Linus from Lost?
See, Lost was not one of my shows either.
Oh.
Charles Logan from 24 and Ramsay Bolton. Did I say that right?
Oh, you did. That's a good one.
Game of Thrones. That's the
Ramsay is nasty.
They will get harder.
The most famous scene, or one of the most famous scenes in the entire Game of Thrones.
It'll get harder.
In the entire Game of Thrones series is called the Battle of the Bastards. Ramsay is a bastard fighting for his family so he can get the title back of his own name, and he is a monster. Like, this dude is legit an evil person, and he goes up against Jon Snow, Battle of the Bastards. It is worth the 35 minutes watching just that battle. And on the topic of these three, before you address Pondwater's stupid comment about soap operas no one gives a shit about,
my Mimo loved Days of Our Lives.
I never watched the other 3 shows, so I don't know who any of these people are.
Oh my God!
The governor was great.
The governor was very good.
I watched. Let's see, how many seasons? I did give up on The Walking Dead after a while because they kind of went with the same storyline after a while. Mm-hmm. But the governor, I don't know, is that season 5 or something?
Yeah,
something like that. I know that the prison was season 4, but the governor was great.
Yeah. Well, same with Ben Linus. Ben Linus was, you never knew if he was telling the truth, lying, if he was a good guy, a bad guy. Like, you just were, this guy is a villain, and he was really good at it. So.
All right, let's start with the top 10. Okay. Yeah, so Devin's going to be like, I never saw any of these shows.
This was a common, I got this from a couple people who voted, that they didn't know all the shows, so they felt like the list was going to be skewed. But I said, no, that's how we do this.
No, that's okay.
Yeah, that's what we want.
That works out. with this poll, we do have enough people voting on it that that's not going to impact things a whole lot. With the football poll, there's fewer people, so
Yeah,
if you didn't know, it might skew it. But with this one, it's it's up for grabs. There is sometimes I do look at the distribution of the votes. Sometimes there's like 3 or 4 that are way above everything, and then there's like 20 that almost got the same amount.
Yeah.
And they just fall where they fall. Yeah. This was pretty spread out all the way up to the top.
All right.
And I legitimately voted for 20 villains.
Wow, really? Okay, I did not vote for that.
Me neither. Number 10.
Let's do this.
Frank Underwood. And it is not a coincidence that his initials are FU.
Well, that's right. And the other thing about Frank Underwood, obviously very evil. You see the inner workings of the ugly politics as he
even
starts
in real life,
as he starts as the whip and becomes the president. That probably is what killed his villain. Is the real life part of it, Terry? Because the way the show ends is horrible. Where they do the transition, then they tried, and I'll give it to them. But when they do the transition in that final season, I'm just like, this sucks. Like, you built and built and built and built to the showdown between Frank and Claire. And then you didn't get it. I mean, it was awful at the end. But that
this show was basically, you're sitting here going, I know Washington is bad, but God, I hope it's not this bad.
And yet, it's not even.
Probably is.
It's worse. Yeah. Oh, I was gonna say it's probably worse. Absolutely.
Did you like the show up until the change?
I love the show. I mean, very first scene, I talked to y'all about this. This is one of those shows where they really set the tone right from the start. Frank Underwood is out in the street at night on his knees, and you can't tell what he's doing, but he's talking to the screen. I don't remember what he's saying, but a dog has been hit by a car, and he snaps its neck to put it out of its misery. And that set the scene for the entire show, because he's not afraid to do the dirty work, and that's exactly what the show was about.
One of the things that was very successful with the show as well is something you just talked about, breaking the fourth wall, where he speaks directly to the viewer of the show.
Yeah.
And so he brings the audience in, and very, very hateable character. And there were several in this. Go ahead, Allison.
No, you nailed something. You got to something that I was going to. Very, very hateable character. This is the third time Kevin Spacey has appeared in our top 10s for villains.
Yeah.
Just note that. He is very good at what he does. Unfortunately, he's also a creep, but he's a very good actor.
That's correct. Oh, and I mean, there's really good characters other than him in this series too.
Very good, yeah.
Kate Mara's, Kate Mara had done We Are Marshall, and I think that was probably her debut, and she was very good in this too. And then, not to spoil it, but it's been a long time. Her death was like, whoa.
Yeah. Yep. Good job.
All right. Yep. Number 9, Wilson Fisk, Kingpin. Now, he's in multiple shows as Kingpin because he was in, I think we had him listed as Daredevil. Seems like he was in Gotham or something.
He was, or the Penguin. He was in one or more of them. You are absolutely right.
Seems like somebody was in prison in Gotham.
I think it's Gotham. I think you're right.
And he was in prison with them. I don't remember if it was Penguin or Joker or somebody, but I think that's the first time I saw him on any of these shows. But he is very good.
Yeah. Excellent.
Yeah, Vincent D'Onofrio, for those of you playing along at home. Also Gomer Pyle from I just lost the name of the movie back in the 80s.
Gomer Pyle is.
Oh, it's the Vietnam movie. They called him Gomer Pyle. The drill sergeant called him Gomer
Pyle. Platoon.
No,
Full Metal
Jacket. Talking about
Full Metal
Jacket.
Yeah. Full Metal Jacket. I went completely. Yeah, I could not. When I first saw Vincent D'Onofrio as the detective in Law and Order, Criminal
Intent.
Whatever. What is it?
Criminal Intent.
Yeah, Criminal Intent. I was like, wait a minute. That's the guy from Full Metal Jacket. Then he does this character, and I'm like, oh my god, D'Onofrio is very good, and he is
he also played the exterminator in Men in Black.
Yes, he was the bug.
Oh,
yeah, he was the bug.
Yeah.
Nice. He was the cockroach.
All right. So far, so good on pronunciation. So Number 8.
Whoa.
Do it. Wait.
Cersei Lannister.
Oh, that was too easy. We talk about her all the time, but how is she?
I didn't know how to say the first name really well.
She was my number 1.
But here's something for you.
She was my number 1, which means if there were 2 of us that put her number 1, nobody else either knew or cared who she was.
My dad better have voted her, or we're gonna have some fights later. Terry. Terry is my guy.
2 things. Remember when she showed up on our Mother's Day list?
Oh yeah,
that was funny. Secondly, last week we talked about the Disney list was dominated by women.
Yep.
Not this list.
Not this list.
The first woman we've seen. I believe she may be the only one.
Yeah.
But I don't want to say that then be wrong.
See, I knew it.
Yeah.
I told you.
Cersei Lannister is by far one of the most villainous characters in television history. I could not wait for her to die. 100% mean that. She survived and survived and survived. Because Game of Thrones, for those of you who haven't seen it, and this isn't going to spoil anything, Game of Thrones starts with a story about a man named Ned Starks. And you get to episode 9 of season 1, and Ned Starks is there at the gallows to be executed. And you're thinking, oh, someone's going to save him. And then they killed Ned Starks. And I actually sent a text message to my very good friend John, and I said, wait a minute. I thought this show was about Ned Starks. And 6 seasons later, Cersei Lannister finally dies.
Oh yeah,
she is obviously the straw that stirs the drink in King's Landing. She is having sex and children with her own brother. She tried to murder her nephew, who caught them. At one point, she goes after Daenerys Targaryen. She has a man named the Mountain who does her bidding for her. I mean, this is the evil, and you're telling me there are 7 better villains than Cersei Lannister?
According to our voters.
Goodness, I am getting ready to put the boxing gloves on with somebody.
So good.
Number 7, Gus Fring.
Too low. Too low. This is the guy from Breaking Bad.
From Breaking Bad. Yeah.
Oh, he's so good. He is so good. Yeah, the Los Pollos Hermanos, the Chicken Brothers.
Oh, so, the chicken guy. That's also from.
Chicken
is
guy.
He also from Better Call Saul?
Yes. Yes.
Because I heard that those 2 shows are related.
They are related. It's a prequel. Obviously, because how Saul became Saul, because he used to have the last name McGill, but it's all good, man. That's how he came up with Saul. But anyway, that's another story. Gus is fantastic as a bad guy. He is ruthless. He is a tyrant. Not better than Cersei. So this list is also sitting on a throne of lies. Since we're getting ready for Christmas, I'm going to keep quoting Elf. But anyway.
My favorite Christmas.
Okay, well, let's stay where we are. Number 6, Walter White.
Okay.
My God, what in the hell is beating these? So if you live long enough being a hero, you'll become the villain. And that's exactly what Walter White did. And there's a specific scene in Breaking Bad when he and his wife are arguing. and she's talking about the danger of him working with these drug cartels and such. And he says, I'm the one who knocks. And that is where you see the character transformation of Walter White, where he accepts that he isn't a high school teacher trying to find a way to pay for cancer treatment. He is now Heisenberg, which is what they call him, who creates 99.7% pure methamphetamine and sells it in the greater Albuquerque area.
I don't know why this reminded me of that when you said high school teacher, but for those that don't know, and this may only be on TikTok, Kevin James has been doing TikToks as Matt Taylor art teacher and not admitting that he is Kevin James. And the entire comment section is, this has got to be Kevin James. You're kidding me. It is freaking hilarious. Apparently, somebody figured out he's doing a movie where he plays Matt somebody. And it's a huge deal on TikTok.
What's his name?
Matt Taylor art teacher. And the videos are great because it's just him acting like he's a high school art teacher. And he's painting and everything.
That's fantastic.
Go look it up, people.
I'm looking it up. I found him. This is Matt Taylor. Oh my God. Yeah, it's just him. Okay.
It is. But he does not mention Kevin James at
Shame on you. Yes, the guy's name is the Mountain. In the latter seasons of Game of Thrones, Amy, his name is Thor Bjornsson. Go ahead and look him up. World's strongest man.
Right.
Deadlifted
then he becomes a Frankenstein.
1,000 pounds. And incredible.
Speaking of world's strongest man, when I was in college, I went to a buffet. I don't remember what buffet. And this is not a big shocker because he's from Auburn. But what is his name? He was in WCW for a little while. Bill Kazmaier was there at the buffet with his wife or girlfriend or whatever. But he also won the World's Strongest Man competition at one point.
Yeah, Bill Kazmaier is not anywhere near as strong as Thor Bjornsson, and I will take that to the bank.
But you also don't want to see him entering your damn all-you-can-eat buffet. I will tell you that much.
Any guys named the big unit, that would be no, ma'am. No.
Oh, no. Andrew.
He also attended. There's a lot of Auburn stuff going on here.
Yeah. John Carlos, the Mountain in the Bronx, and it was his birthday yesterday. So happy birthday to my king of New York.
All right, let's keep going.
Number 5, Homelander.
Oh, okay.
For God's sake, he's not number 1. If you're not going to put Cersei or Walt and Gus, and Homelander's not number 1, what is wrong with you people? I need to know.
I hope the Night King is number 1 just to piss him off.
Oh, stop!
Anyway,
the Night King was doing the Lord's work.
This is what we have to. Let me go ahead. Okay. He just removed the curtain there a little bit. So when we start talking about villains, Andrew starts debating for the villains in our chat because they shouldn't be on the list. He's like, no, this is a great guy.
Yeah.
The Night King was one of them. If you lived in King's Landing, you would want the Night King to come make you a zombie and kill all of those people too. The Lannisters are absolutely awful. They might always pay their debts, but the only good one was the midget. And anyway.
And y'all made fun of me for putting Cersei on the Mother's Day list, all right? Just remember.
I love the Night King. The man raised a dragon from the dead.
Okay, we may have a chance to talk about him, so let's hold it.
Well,
let's talk about Homelander.
Let me tell you, I'm just disappointed that Newman didn't show up on this.
I voted for Newman.
Look, Homelander, borderline Nazi, racist. This is fantastic. It's
probably some of these are going to be that people didn't see the show.
Yeah,
correct.
There's a lot of that here.
If you don't have a strong stomach, The Boys isn't for you. And that's what this show is. It's The Boys. People know the Homelander reference, but this dude is the personification of evil inside that show. And actually, according to the books, it's actually Dark Noir, who is Homelander's clone and is the one doing all of the nefarious things. But in the show, that's not how this plays out. So, anyway.
And so, yes, you should watch it. Dad, you would like this too. Mom would not. It's a little sci-fi. It's a little superhero. It's a little drama, a little romance, and a lot of gore.
And a lot of dark humor.
A lot of dark humor, but also a lot of blood and guts. So
yeah,
just
a lot of blood and guts, a lot of dark humor. The opening 5 minutes of the first episode. Just
I got a question then. So Devin just put this about supernatural ties.
Oh, yeah, because what's his name is in it? Jensen Ackles.
Is it actually in the same universe?
No, I just think because he's in it.
The actor. Actor.
Yeah.
Oh, okay. I was about to say that part I didn't know.
And it's not Jensen Ackles, it's the other one, isn't it?
Okay, I have no idea. I'm very bad with names.
Because I watched 14 seasons of Supernatural.
Because the one is Soldier Boy. The one of the guys from Supernatural is Soldier Boy. Yeah.
Okay. But she's saying the other one's in it too.
I never watched Supernatural, so if that villain's on this list, I have no idea who you're talking about.
Well, yeah.
Crowley and the two brothers.
Oh, Crowley and the brothers. And you know, Negan was the dad in Supernatural.
There's only one Negan, and if he better be on this list.
All right. Number 4, Oswald Cobblepot. Penguin from Gotham. And this is definitely my favorite Gotham villain.
Absolutely not, though. Better than Cersei Lannister.
I agree with that.
This is not a better villain than those ones. This is just voter bias right here.
I agree, but I forgot that this is who played him in the show.
Oh,
this guy was amazing. Very
good. Yeah,
very, very, very good. Yeah, but I didn't put him on my list.
He was high on my list.
All right.
I didn't watch Game of Thrones, so that's part of the bias here.
I mean, it makes sense here. Bober put him first.
Yeah.
I think he means it's the first one he's seen that's been on his list.
Oh, and by the way, the Penguin played by what's his name in the one show that was a spinoff of the movie, The Batman with Pattinson.
The Penguin?
Oh, it was so good. That Penguin is very good.
What's his name? What's his name?
No, it's not Burgess.
No, I said he's in the movie In Bruges. Colin Farrell?
Colin Farrell, that's it.
Yeah. Also realized that we had nobody from the really old 1960s version of Batman.
My favorite part about the Joker in 1966 is that Cesar Romero refused to shave his mustache, and so you can see it underneath his paint. So good. That and Burgess Meredith was the Penguin.
Number 3, Negan.
Okay. I mean, I will say one episode of this show changed everything for me, and it was because of him. And goddamn, he's a good-looking man. Amy, yummy.
Oh, he was also on what show? One of the hospital shows. He was
Grey's Anatomy. He was Denny Duquesne. They cut his LVAD wire. He was a bunch of idiots.
Yeah, he was the one who died and had all of us girls just.
I didn't cry when he died.
Okay. But you have no soul because I bawled.
And this guy's number 3 over Cersei Lannister and over Gus Fring and over Walter White. No.
He was
no zombie movie. Yeah, he can't be that good.
Exactly what Devin said. Negan was high on my list. Smashing Glenn's head was just nasty, but it was perfect for his role. Like it was the scene that set his character.
No.
I think he's great.
Horrible. Number 2, Joffrey. Here we go. Joffrey Baratheon. I don't know.
That's pretty good. Yeah,
pretty good. That was pretty good. Joffrey belonged. I voted Joffrey number 2.
Same.
I can't believe people put him ahead of Cersei.
Yeah,
because
that's crazy.
Cersei had the longer tenure of evil, but Joffrey was a nasty little son of a bitch. And he was not good. So now that he's here, he killed Ned, Terry, if you've never seen Game of Thrones.
Yeah.
So he's the one who decides they're going to kill Ned Starks, who, by the way, Ned Stark is the hand of the king, who is his fucking father, and he has him executed for treason.
Hold on. You also forgot. Ned Stark's daughter is also, at this point, his fiance. So he kills his future father-in-law. Yeah.
And nobody cares about J.R. Ewing except the two people over 50 getting ready to start collecting Social Security because they're closer to 60 than 50. Good Lord.
Don't be so sure, because number one is J.R. Ewing.
How in the fuck is that even number one? This total list, this is a rib. This is a rib.
Only because Jerry Jones was not on the list.
Wow, Andrew, we got robbed.
No, this is bullshit, is what
this is definitely a list that got hijacked from us.
He got a lot of number ones from people.
Yeah, this is not a list. He's not close to the number one. I get Dallas was a great show in 1973 when you were watching it on newly branded fucking color television on Channel 4. But no, he is not better than Cersei Lannister, not better than Gus Fring, not better than Joffrey Baratheon, not better than the Penguin Cobblepot from Gotham.
Devin wants to know if this was a show that had the entire season as a dream.
That would be The Sopranos.
Roseanne also had one of those.
I mean, wasn't that the entire St. Elsewhere?
Oh, I don't know St. Elsewhere.
That was,
but he did. Technically, he got in on this list with a waiver because we said no soap operas, and
that's true.
Dallas.
That's true. We did say we
Terry made the executive decision to include Dallas because he didn't want to have to hear Bober and Super Dave.
I did not expect JR to win the thing, though. I will say that because I did not put him number one. I don't know that I put him in my top 10. I think I might have taken a screenshot.
I didn't even vote for him, so I don't know how the hell
we got a lot of folks that. Okay, let's see. I put him on my top 10. But I also had Crowley, I had Rowena, I had Jerome Levesque.
Who are these people?
So Crowley and Rowena are on Supernatural, and Jerome Levesque is the Joker on Gotham.
Oh yeah, he is a little bastard, the redheaded one.
Yeah, I really think that he is an underrated Joker because we always hear about the movie characters, but that guy did pretty well as the Joker.
He was the actor in
You're gonna make me look at
the show with Macy, the kid. What the hell was that show?
So this was in Gotham, right?
Yeah.
Okay.
Now
he is not the best Joker ever, Dave. You are on some drugs.
Let me run it down, and then I've got some thoughts on Gotham. So number 10, Frank Underwood. Number 9, Wilson Fisk, Kingpin. Number 8, Cersei Lannister. Number 7, Gus Fring. Number 6, Walter White. Number 5, Homelander. Number 4, Oswald Cobblepot, the Penguin. Number 3, Negan. Number 2, I'm going to try it again, Joffrey Baratheon. And number 1, J.R. Ewing.
Somehow, people like Dave and Bober voted for multiple devices to get J.R. Ewing that high. Because let's face it, Claire Underwood's not on this list. The Night King didn't make the list. Homelander comes in at 5, but you're going to put J.R. I watched this man have sex with Stormfront in an alley and crush some guy's head. And you're going to put Homelander as 5, but J.R. Ewing is number 1.
So I think Bober is alone on this opinion. I don't agree with it. He says that Edward Nygma, the Riddler from Gotham, was better than the Joker from Gotham, and I disagree.
Because the joke, Edward Nygma, Enigma, get it? Ha ha ha.
Yeah. Well, one thing about Gotham that bothered me, I think they jumped the shark on how quickly they made him Batman. Because he was this skinny little kid, and he was already beginning to be Batman. And I thought that was a bit much.
Very, very true.
Good list.
But I loved Gotham as a show. One of my favorites. I also love Supernatural, so I voted for Supernatural, Walking Dead. those are my big shows.
Yeah, I mean, for villains, no.
I mean, as we said, this was going to affect our list. Amy said, I only knew 12 people on this list, and one of them was the evil JR.
We do thank we do thank Generation X for following us.
Yes.
But sometimes it shows up in the results.
In 3 weeks, I will be 40, and you old fuckers just ruined this list, okay? That's what I'm going to thank y'all for. Good Lord.
Devin, Supernatural and The Walking Dead are 2 shows that he's seen tonight.
Yeah. Yeah, J.R. Ewing is not. No. I'm going to say this is a non-counted vote. We're going to get a recount. And,
hey, oh my God. At some point, we're going to have to redo some stuff because we're going to run out of ideas.
Devin's going to be 28 years old in 2 days. Happy birthday, you child.
Happy birthday.
Oh my God, I could be your mother plus some. Next.
I also struggle, Bober, like with the, here's I send out an email to some people, us 3 and some more people, to vote to see who's on the list, because we'll put a lot of options out there and we'll whittle it down a little bit. And I'm with you, Bober. I did have a harder time getting to 25 for the TV villains than I had the other lists.
Agree there for sure. Oh my God.
Let's talk about talking wrestling. I believe we have a 3-year anniversary show coming up for these guys this week.
Terry, I was going to say, it's not us. It just seems like you've been with me for 30 years, but we haven't even made 3. So congratulations to Amy and Pondwater. Someone told me Connie's going to show up and talk wrestling on Tuesday or Wednesday, whatever day it is. And Connie being Conrad Thompson, for those of you who don't know Connie.
Happy birthday.
Yes, it's your birthday.
It is your birthday.
Yes. Well, whatever. I'll tell you what, it's not. It's not for a couple weeks. But Wednesday, Conrad will be joining Dave and Amy to talk about independent wrestling. Not that nonsense, WWE he talks about every week with everybody else about. Makes millions of dollars doing so. Maybe you guys will get a nice push on the Mark Out Moments, get the Connie dust. Anyway, congratulations to y'all. It's a great show. And everybody should watch it right here on Mark Out Moments. And then get you a belt. Big time belts. High prices, low quality. Dave's best line ever on Talking Wrestling when he was doing the I had to think about it when I said it because I always say it right and he said it wrong the one time and I've never forgotten it. But yeah, they're doing a good job on big time. He got himself a new belt the other day. And boy, was he proud of it, but you needed magnifying glasses to be able to see it because it was one of them old NWA belts and they were made small back then. But no, seriously. Great show, good sponsors, good team, and we're happy to be here. And congratulations to our friends. You guys made it longer than we have.
3 years. We're proud.
He hasn't killed me yet, though, so that's a good start. So y'all wait.
Well, I think soccer will eventually be the death of us, but we will.
Yeah. Well, we'll
just start traveling with the team.
Though, that next weekend we will not be having a Sunday night show, and we're going to have the same discussion again like we've had before to make sure we're on the same page.
Yes.
But I'll be in Memphis because we got 2 games, one Saturday, one Sunday next week in Memphis.
And I will be in North Carolina.
And she'll be in North Carolina. So we're all taking advantage of not recording Sunday. So I believe that means that on the 19th, Wednesday night, the 19th, we plan to do a show, and we need to coordinate with Super Dave and Amy about doing a Wednesday night show so we don't step on their feet.
Yes.
So we will get with you on that. Further details will come out. I will put out the football poll next weekend like I always do. And as I've done before, we will publish that to social media. Instead of showing it on the show, we will show it on the show, but it'll be a few days later. So we'll get that out.
Can we do sci-fi villains next?
We can.
Right.
We got 10 days to figure.
I like it.
Sci-fi villains.
Yeah, you're gonna like that one.
Now, is that going to be TV/movie sci-fi?
No, it's movies only.
Sci-fi movies. Okay.
Yes.
Is Terminator on the list?
Yes.
Oh, or is it a franchise? Because we talked.
There's
about
a few of them. I think.
can't
That's a good
duplicate.
point. I don't know. I think we also have the franchises to
It's
do
a good
too.
thing we have 10 days.
Yeah, we'll check.
Right.
I'll check.
God.
But I love Terminator because as much as Terry loves ChatGPT, we were warned about what would happen when the machines take over.
Yes. I mean, I'm going to say this, and I never say this. Boober's not wrong.
He actually is wrong because that would be the franchise movie list, not the sci-fi movie list.
Oh, fuck.
Okay,
Right.
it depends. Okay, so here's where we got to make a decision. Do sci-fi franchises go to the sci-fi list, or do they go to the franchise list?
I got to look at my preliminary list because I don't know if we have enough otherwise.
Yeah, because sci-fi franchises would include Jurassic Park, would include Star Wars, and automatically there's two of the better ones.
Star Trek.
Oh God, no. I'm not a Trekkie. I am not a Trekkie. Sorry, Dave.
Alien, Predator.
Oh, Alien is so good. Let go of her, you bitch. Predator.
Oh my God. Oh, I think we just got a good suggestion. Super Dave wants us to do top 10 baby making songs.
And I would love to to see the ChatGPT for that one, Terry. Top 10 baby making songs.
Baby got back.
I'll start trying. Who knows when I'll ever.
That's how you get a baby, is you start trying.
Well, sometimes you get one when you weren't trying.
I nearly said this out loud the other day. This one of our managers pointed out that one of our salespeople has 5 children, and I almost told him it sounds like you all need a better TV. But anyway.
So we're about to wrap it up, but I forgot to talk about Costco. So at the beginning of the show, so I've started going to Costco more lately, and since we were in Nashville all day, I normally go on Saturday morning, but since we were in Nashville all day, I went after church today. And let me tell you, Costco people and Kroger people, 2 separate groups. If you want to do people watching, go to Costco after church on Sunday. It's excellent. So I'm walking down an aisle, and I hear, this is definitely not an Alabama accent. This man goes, 12 pounds of flour. And his wife goes, yeah, I'm going to get it. And then he goes, I was being sarcastic. What are you going to do with 12 pounds of flour? And she goes, Christmas baking season's coming up. And I thought, that is just, oh my goodness.
Oh, that's so good.
Oh. And I'm like, these can't be real.
Allison,
I don't get that at Kroger.
We need
and also, flour. So I go to the self-checkout because I'm a big self-checkout guy. And I don't have much, but I do have like 48 Dr. Pepper cans, or however many come in the thing. So I scan it and I put it on the little platform. About the time I put it on the platform, it goes, do not place this on the platform for fear of damage. So like, oh shit, let me take that off of there. Like, I hope I didn't break their scale there.
Shame. I had somebody, because I also use checkout, do this to me this week.
Lord.
Tapping that he wanted me to put my stuff on the conveyor belt faster. That's usually a good way to get cussed at.
Hi, Australia. Our friend Ben is here.
And we're about to wrap it up. And this is such a rib.
Thank God I went to Costco today, or I might have already wrapped it up. We would not
also, yeah, Amy is spot on with the guy that tapped Andrew.
Oh.
Death Wish.
I'm turning over a leaf trying to be nicer these days.
He only is doing that. He's only doing that for me.
I'm a work in progress.
He's only doing that so
last Monday or the Monday before, I forget which one. I forgot to take my CBD in the morning at about 5 o'clock. Somebody fucked around and found out.
Oh,
5 o'clock in the morning?
5 o'clock in the afternoon.
No, you remember what day that is.
I had enough, and somebody fucked around and found out.
Yep.
But anyway.
Okay.
That's all I've got for tonight, and we'll see you all in about a week and a half. Terry, take us home.
All right. Thanks, everybody, for showing up. Too many people showed up to name them. I would leave somebody out, but you are our favorite people. Thanks for voting. If you've got any ideas, let us know, because we are going to run out of ideas at some point. We do like the series concept. That makes it a little easier to plan. If you have a series idea, throw that our way. Dave's is going to be songs about sex and poems about sex and
books I only read because they were about
that
sex.
Make you think of sex.
Exactly. TV shows about movies. Movies about sex. I don't know about that.
Forget it. I don't want to get into no Debbie Does Dallas. Stuff here.
Just a
My dad watched
one.
this show.
Why would she not win that one? Anyway.
Yeah, Deep Throat is historic. I'm just saying.
Oh my God.
But thank you, everybody, for showing up, for voting, for all the support. We love you. It's been fun. And I've got to get to the right slide because my memory is so horrible I can't even remember what to say. As always, love your people. Tell them you love them. Make it weird. See you next time, everybody.